Hello everyone, this is a video to show you how to take a request for a special ed student and make sure that when you run the load, it will push that special ed student into the correct inclusion class. It's been my experience to do this on the front end instead of trying to do it after the load is easier. After the load, you may have a maxed out class and you're trying to get 5 special ed students in there and it just becomes really difficult. So I like to, this was called prescribe the section for the special ed student. Now last year, if some of you did this, it did not work correctly and I found out why. And it was a setup we had with using the half credits. So now that we're using the whole credits, we should be able to use this functionality of PowerSchool. So what you're going to do, now you would do this after your student requests are in and after your visual scheduler is done. Now I'll just tell you, I'm in the sandbox, by the way. We now have our own data in a sandbox that I can mess with so that I don't mess anybody's stuff up. But in Visual Scheduler, I'll just show you, I went ahead and just put in 2 classes. I put in an 8th grade math class and an 8th grade English class so that I could show you how these constraints work. So you do have to have your Visual Scheduler or your master schedule put in before you can do this. Okay, so what you need to do is go to Constraints. Now again, let me start, if you're just on the Power Scheduler page, as it comes up like this, you would go over here on the left to Constraints. When you click on that, you're looking for student preference. Now there's some different things you can do up here, and we can talk about that later, but student preference is what you want, and you're going to click New. Now I have enrolled a fake student in here so that I can use them, so that I don't breach any confidentiality or anything. So when you click Associate, notice that was the student. I'm going to associate the student with this constraint. These are all the students in Brooks High School, which I don't want all the students. So if you'll do Control F, it will bring up a little search box, and I created a student named Mickey Mouse. And that is, I don't know where to tell you where, well, I think I know where that number is, but it's kind of buried. But you're going to associate the student, this is actually their PowerSchool number comes up, and then you're going to associate the class. So I want English grade 8. This is a 7th grade student that's going into 8th grade. And there is the class. Term, you don't have to put in. Section number. Now that for us is not optional because you want to push them into a certain period. This is if you're trying to tell it you want them to take a certain class, but you want to get them into a certain section. And because I created those sections first, it gave them the section number of 1. You would use whatever section number applied to the period that you want that student to be assigned to. And then submit. And you see now that I have this constraint, and that's for English. Now I'm going to do the math one. So if I was going to do the math one, I have to click Associate again. Again, I'm going to do Control F and type in mouse. And it's going to pull that up where I can choose my student again. And then I'm going to associate the math class, which, and you can do that Control F over here too if you want to. It will beep at you if you type in something that doesn't exist. So there's my math grade 8, submit. And then my section number for this one happened to be 1 again. So you may even want to, when you're setting up your Power Scheduler, make sure all your inclusion classes have the same section number. That's up to you if you want to do that so that you can remember this really easily. So I'm going to click Submit, and now you will see that my student has the 2 inclusion classes assigned to them that they need. So that's all you have to do. Once that's done, when you run the load, it's going to push the student into those sections. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to help. Thanks.